was a man who could not stop getting struck by lightning for 40 years, and the problem...
Now, this is how London used to look.
I don't understand what you're saying, because you're reversing the Hebrew and you're changing the meaning to the complete opposite.
I was sleeping, had to wake up. Why? Every reason I could think of.
What's up, YouTube? Today, we'll be looking at disturbing TikToks that'll make you question reality. So without further ado, welcome to Adam Strain Reacts. Let's get her done.
Oh, I love this video, and it's everywhere at the moment because it shows such a cool and unique elephant adaptation. So the other morning, there was an earthquake at the San Diego Safari Park, and these African elephants look around, and then they form this. This is called an alert circle, and it's where older members of the herd will encapsulate a juvenile, more threatened member to give them a 360 view of what the threat may be.
Did you ever notice how people say everyone left the land because farming was hard and life in the city was better? That's not what really happened. People didn't flock to cities out of choice, they were pushed. When the Enclosure Acts came in, wealthy landowners fenced off the commons, the land ordinary people used to grow food, graze animals and live freely. Suddenly the poor had nowhere to farm, nowhere to live, no way to eat. So they went to the cities, not for freedom, but for survival. And what did they find? Crowded housing, long factory hours, polluted air, and a promise of progress that never fed their souls. Then came the movies, the billboards, the glossy dream, telling us that cars, money, and status were the new symbols of happiness. And we believed it. We chased it, until we forgot what real wealth feels like. Because you can have all the money in the world, but you can't buy a loving meal with your family. You can't buy meaning, community, or connection to the land. That's the great illusion. And maybe it's time we wake up from it.
I've been saying this for quite a while, but it does seem that way. It does seem like the fact that we're living with so many people inside of packed into these metropolis type areas, and that we basically don't have any contact with the land or with any of our sustenance. It puts us in a precarious position where because we've depended so long on other people to basically get our meal to the table, that if something were to happen, we wouldn't be able to provide it for ourselves. So it's kind of scary to think about in that aspect. And I do believe that people, at the end of the day, even though we say we live in evolution and this and that, I'm sure if you were to poll people from back then to today, people would still say they were happier back in those days, which is kind of weird. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's good that we live in big cities, that we just haven't figured out how, like, the logistics, let's say? Or do you guys think that we had it way better off when we were back on the land in contact with our sustenance? Let me know down below, and let's keep on rocking.
The most elaborate prank in TV history sent people to space. In 2005, a reality show recruited contestants for one of the most expensive jokes in British TV history and carefully selected the most gullible people on Earth. Contestants were told they were selected for a 5-day mission to orbit Earth. For training, the show flew them out to a space academy in Russia. Except they didn't really. The plane just flew in circles for hours and landed in a disguised military base in England. For 2 weeks, the contestants went through rigorous training by actors posing as Russian space experts, and things just got more and more absurd. In their training, they were told things like the rocket ship they would be on has anti-gravity generators, so they wouldn't be feeling weightlessness while in space. 4 cadets that passed training were loaded into a rocket and experienced a fake launch where they spent 5 days in a tiny shuttle looking out windows seeing a fake view of Earth. And when it was time for their final mission, a full spacewalk, they suited up and the doors opened to reveal a live studio audience.
So today...
Wow, that is an elaborate prank. I really wonder how those people felt. If they felt relieved or... Man, imagine that. You went through all that training, and I can't even imagine. If you guys know of any other type of pranks like that that are that elaborate, it really makes me think of the Hollywood movie from the 90s, The Game. seems like the same type of setup. It's like the whole thing is life changing, but at the end of the day, it's all just a game. Very interesting. If you have any other examples of this type of prank, let me know down below.
I found out Russian mob bosses get the coldest tombstones I've ever seen in my life. Like, you know for a fact my boy was pushing and catching bodies, and obviously the bends meant a lot to him because this is one of the coldest I've seen him. Wait, I'm just getting started. We'll call him Vladimir, I guess. I don't know. Are you? I don't know what that is in the background. Maybe it's a monument. Maybe that's his crib. But obviously, he was pushing the bends too, suited and booted. Looked like he was catching a body. You said the wrong type of thing. You're dead. And he just move on with his life. Like, I don't see Frank Lucas with no tombstone like this. Like, Al Capone don't got this. Goodness gracious. These is so tough. America, we are, again, lacking. And why did I not notice about Russia that you guys just have your bosses and drug lords, like, here when it comes to death? Or maybe that's just, respect to the family. Really, Russians just really like cars. And they all be smoking cigarettes. And this is another dude, he looks like a kid. He looks like one of them dudes you do not. And it's like, once you did, my mistake, my fault. I'm going to leave. Now it's too late to leave. You're dead. My boy looks like he said something like a bottle of vodka a day keeps the doctor away. And he means it. And when he take a shot, there's not even a grimace. It looks like it's water. You probably think it's water, but it's not. And then next thing you know, he don't do the people do it for him. That's the type of guy he looked like. And I'm starting to think this must be a Russian monument. Russians, if you're here, let me know. But I mean, goodness gracious. Look at the time and the detail. Al Capone must be pissed we didn't leave something for like these dudes are looking. You would think this is like the president and just a rich and nice family. Nope. Bodies, left, right.
We often see like burial ceremonies or different types of ways of doing it in the past, but actually I've rarely looked into that, the different burial practices in the modern day. I had never seen anything close to that. That's actually pretty cool. But actually give incentive for your loved ones to come and see you a bit more in a way. It's like more entertaining, and they see you. Very interesting concept. I had never seen anything like it. If you guys know of any other type of burial conventions or ceremonies or ways or tombstones, let me know down below. I'm very curious. And let's keep on rocking.
A Headley. Wolf.
Dangerous to our democracy.
To our democracy.
This is extremely dangerous 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 to our democracy.
Sorry if it was a bit long. It's an old video, but the channel is growing, and I think now we're at video 48, 49, something like that. We're hitting 50 videos, and I'm not sure that I put this in, so I want to make sure to put it in. I find it pretty revealing and telling, because to see that they're all reading from the same script, no matter what company they come from, it just shows that there's an organized effort to standardize the news. And through that, I wanted to also say, like, JFK, before he got assassinated, in one of his most famous speeches, he's saying that in the future it will be a very important and patriotic part to be played by the media and by the journalists, because back then there were journalists. And I think this video makes it quite evident that the whole prescription of what is a journalist has completely changed, because back then it was someone who would make the effort to verify the claims, bring you both sides of the story and try to be impartial. And nowadays, as we see, there are people that read from the teleprompter. Now, as a side note, you could even go all the way up to the president. Is that the same thing? Because basically we know that every time they're in public, they're reading from the teleprompter. So who's prompting the teleprompter? Interesting questions. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think down below, but let's keep on rocking.
Explaining bizarre theories about classic cartoons in 1 minute. Actually, Popeye never ate spinach. He ate canned drugs. Creators showed an addict as a healthy hero. Frame 1329. The can Popeye opens has a specific red and white striped label. It's not random design. It's the exact pattern of sold legally until 1922 in the United States. And this is where everything makes sense. From Popeye opening the can to punching Brutus, exactly 3 seconds of animation pass. Know how long inhaled the nervous system? Exactly 3 seconds. But wait, it gets more disturbing. Notice Popeye's pupils after the can, completely dilated for 6 minutes and 40 seconds of the episode. That's the classic sign of stimulants in the body. And you never notice the most obvious thing. Popeye gets strong, then returns to normal randomly. That's not a temporary effect. It's euphoria and crash cycle, documented in 91% of stimulant dependency cases. Actually, in 87% of scenes with Olive, she appears holding the can before Popeye even asks, because she's not his girlfriend. She's a supplier, anticipating the addict's need. And now the part the creators disguised as family comedy. Brutus isn't the villain. He tries to destroy the cans in 94 of the 108 original episodes. Olive always protects the cans. Brutus is trying to cut off the supply. The entire series is about a desperate friend trying to save the addict while the dealer sabotages the intervention. Spinach was never healthy food. It was a 34-year-old sailor having overdoses that everyone applauded.
And he was when he went to hear Demis speak, he immediately got it. And he immediately said to himself, what does this mean to being human? And we are today grappling with the question that he foresaw 20 years ago when we first started working on this. What does it mean to be human in the age of AI? What does it mean to be a child, to an adult, to be a leader? What does it mean for economics? What does it mean for jobs? All of that. But his core argument was that this is an epochal change in the sense that it's like the various major changes that we've had in sort of reasoning, scientific revolution, and so forth, because we as humans have never had a competitor that is not human, but of similar or greater level of intelligence. And it is unpredictable what we human will do. He used to say that what would happen is in magic, when people don't understand things, they either decide that it's a new religion or they take up arms. And so he would say, well, are we going to take up arms to AI or are we going to make it a new religion? And I said, I hope it's a religion. And I said, I hope it's a religion. Because, of course, I benefit from the religion, I guess.
Gee whiz. Straight up saying it, no? Personally, I have quite an issue with AI and a lot of what we call technological advancements, cloning, genetic manipulation. I just find that we live in a culture where everyone wants to be first and no one wants to be right. And no one wants to discern. They just want to be first. So in that case, I feel like everything that is possible will be done. And it's kind of scary in a way, because like if you take AI, if you would look at it from an outside perspective, it would be pretty easy to come up with a solution of like, let's integrate slowly, see the effects, based on the effects, and then continue to integrate, right? But in the past 6 months, what we've seen is basically, okay, let's jump in feet first. And when I say feet first, I mean, they've made everyone look for it. So it's like you see promotions and they're selling you a service And their way to sell the service is telling you it's done with AI, which means it's not really them doing it, but yet people buy more because it's like a craze. Who's the first, you know? What do you guys think about AI? Do you guys think that we should be more careful? Do you guys think that we're going too quickly? I don't know if you guys heard, if you saw the previous video, I had put a clip that Albania already had an AI minister, and they keep talking about AI to be part of the government, saying that it's not going to be corruptible. For me personally, I think you should tackle corruption rather than escape the problem by taking humans out of the equation, personally. But tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think that the AI thing is going too quickly? Not quick enough? What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Let's keep on rocking.
This is McDonald's French fries from the United States. It has 11 ingredients. But in the UK, there's only 4, and salt is optional. This one has an ingredient called dimethyloxane, an ingredient that can be preserved with formaldehyde. This is United States Fanta right here. It's made with high fructose corn syrup, artificial dye, yellow 6, red 40, and sodium benzenate. In the UK, they have real orange juice inside, and it's colored with carrots and pumpkin.
Gee whiz, the food. Listen, it's as simple as this. As long as we don't take a stand, as long as we keep consuming, as long as we keep voting with the dollar, it's going to stay the same. She just told you. To sell the same product in a different place, they must abide by the rules of the place. So long as we don't fix our rules, we're going to end up with the bad outcome. So what do you guys think about that? How does it make you feel that the same product, when it's made for you, is made with chemicals and with things that are dangerous and can cause a lot of bad situations, let's just say health-wise, and that the same product is being sold elsewhere more healthy? What do you guys think about that? Let me know down below, and let's keep on rocking.
But there was a man who could not stop getting struck by lightning for 40 years, and the problem got so bad that he ended himself, and the story just gets way crazier from there. Roy Sullivan was a park ranger at Shenandoah National Park in Virginia in the 1940s, but he also might be the unluckiest man in history, because one day in 1942 at work, while he was up in a lookout tower surveying the grounds, a lightning storm started, which was common, but this time something extremely odd happened. Lightning started to strike the tower, and Roy counted 7 to 8 strikes before he decided to finally leave the cabin and make a break for it. But when he did that, he got struck by lightning, which knocked him unconscious, blew off his big toenail, burned his leg, and set his hair on fire. But then another extremely odd thing happened. In 1969, 27 years later, Roy was driving his truck through the park when lightning struck a tree, bounced off of it into his truck window, and hit him in the head, knocking him unconscious and setting his hair and his eyebrows on fire. But the interesting thing is that whereas the first lightning strike was very traumatic for him, the second time he started to think about the logistical problems. Like, for instance, how massively inconvenient it is to have to regrow your hair and eyebrows. So from that point on, he started to carry around a bucket of water with him everywhere he went, which turned out to be an incredibly smart move, because only a year later in 1970, he was sitting on his front porch and lightning struck a power transformer, which arced and hit him in the shoulder, setting his hair on fire again, which he actually doused out with the water. And then from 1972 to 1977, he was struck 4 more times by lightning. In 1972, he was struck through an open door in his house. In 1973, he was struck while out on a patrol route. In 1976, he was struck while on a trail. And in 1977, he was struck while fishing on a lake. And each time, his hair caught on fire and he doused it out with his bucket of water, which was the greatest investment of his entire life. And also during that last lightning strike in 1977, Roy Sullivan said that after he got struck on his way home, he was approached by a bear who wanted to take his fish that he had caught, and he had to fight it off with a stick. The lightning strikes were confirmed by a doctor, but there's no way of proving that story. We just kind of have to take his word on it. Throughout the 1970s and early 80s, Roy Sullivan became somewhat of a local legend. He actually ended up writing a book, and he got into the Guinness Book of World Records for most amount of time struck by lightning. But unfortunately, he ended up kind of feeling like he couldn't escape the curse and didn't want to spend another 20 to 30 years getting struck by lightning all the time, and so he actually ended his life in 1983 at the age of 71. He was referenced in the game Firewatch, though, and will forever serve as a cautionary tale to exercise extreme safety precautions during lightning storms. And real quick, if you like my videos and you want to see more in-depth writing from me about movies, TV shows, pop culture, strange facts, and fascinating history, you can do that here.
Wow, that's interesting. It's actually kind of hard to believe that you could get struck by lightning so many times. It's almost like winning the lottery over and over in a way, but in a negative way. Very interesting. It reminds me of a conspiracy theory I saw recently that was talking about tornadoes, and it was saying that tornadoes might be attracted to aluminum. And I don't know, it got me thinking, like, how could this guy be so like attracted? Did he have some sort of a magnetism? Did the first time did it create something? Did they put a plate in his head? I don't know. It makes me wonder if you guys know more about this or any other type of stories like this about people getting struck by lightning or people having like incredibly bad luck. I find it super interesting. So let me know down below and let's keep on rocking.
Happened to good architecture around the world. This is London now. This is how London used to look. For centerist work, I would love to be in this London. And the thing is, it's not the only city. It's all over the place. It's like, we take a step back in architecture. I don't understand how that's possible, but that's what it feels like. Like, this is the London I want to be in. Look at Cincinnati, Ohio now. This shit ass. Cincinnati, Ohio back then. That looks electric. It looks like a place I'd want to go visit. I'd be like, oh man, Cincinnati got something going on. Now Cincinnati, it's like, oh yeah, you just kind of pass through there unless you're trying to watch Joe Burrow and them real quick. I do feel like though Europe like keeps a lot of their architecture the same. Maybe that's why y'all don't got no AC over there, because you guys like keeping the whole stone buildings and going on. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad at it, because visually, very appealing. Like, why did they think this was a good move? Like, damn son, like, what happened? This looks amazing. I like the stores, the hustle, the bustle, people walking, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding. And now it's just, ew. I mean, bring it back. I love this. I don't know. All of a sudden, I'm just like, damn, why did we change everything? We didn't need to. Like, I like how old shit looked. We could just like revamp the inside, but definitely need AC though. Central cooling was needed.
In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones.
Criminals were going to take your criminal conduct into the neighborhoods. I would tell them, if you value your life, you probably shouldn't do that in Polk County, because the people of Polk County like guns. They have guns. I encourage them to own guns, and they're going to be in their homes tonight with their guns loaded. And if you try to break into their homes to steal, to set fires, I'm highly recommending they blow you back out of the house with their guns.
I don't know what's going on in the world, but most of the common wealth countries seem to be losing their marbles. If you look at Australia's pioneering the law for banning 16-year-olds and below from social media, which is obviously a ploy to just get digital ID more entrenched. You have the UK, where you go to prison or you, whatever, just for freedom of speech, for saying something, for posting a picture, for writing something on Twitter or on Facebook. And you have Canada, where they're always ready and first in line, whether it was for vaccines, for the COVID, for whatever. Always first in line. So I don't know what's up with the Commonwealth countries, but there's something going on. Much respect to that man, the sheriff of Polk County, for encouraging the people to stand firm and defend themselves and not to be victims and to call the police and have them waiting there for an hour while the people do whatever they want to do, you know? I don't know if you guys agree. I know that, you know, Second Amendment and the GUNSs are a bit controversial, but still, let me know what you guys think down below, and let's keep on rocking.
Okay, blood is thicker than water. What do you think that means?
Well, it's always been suggesting that family comes first.
Okay, do you want to know the actual saying, which is true? The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb.
Oh.
It's the complete opposite meaning of how everyone uses it in the Western world, yeah. The blood of the covenant, obviously that's God and you, right?
Yeah.
The covenant, Spirit, Holy Spirit, right? Is thicker than the water of the womb. The water of the womb. That's just already just like those two words in itself. That was always the saying, going back hundreds of years, centuries. Everyone says blood is thicker than water. You don't understand what you're saying because you're reversing the Hebrew and you're changing the meaning to the complete opposite. This is not a theory anymore. This is literally how I wake up every morning. Okay, curiosity killed the cat. Have you heard that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, ready? Do you want to know the original one, the Hebrew one? Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought it back. You can't die in this realm. You always come back. Not 9 lives. That's another addition that because they don't want you to realize how powerful you are, how protected you are from day one. You know?
What else you got? This is great. Have you got
Are you
any
ready?
more? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
have you
look
heard
at
this one? Jack of all trades, master of none?
Yeah.
My dad used to say that, yeah? Ready? Jack of all trades, master of none, though often better than a master of one. That's the real saying.
Wow.
It's the opposite, bro. That's completely the other side.
It is the opposite. Yeah, it's basically...
We've been living in this world where we are literally teaching our children a lie every time. And because we don't understand the esoteric meaning and the origin of English.
That's incredible, isn't it? That's a particularly good one.
That's one of the most widely used. I'm sure every second of the day someone's saying that.
Well, it kind of there's sort of there are similar sayings, and there is like, oh, he's a one-trick pony, you know, and
well, it's trying to teach you to, you know, focus on one thing, you know, don't ignore everything else. No, that's not your job here. That's not your purpose on this earth.
No, it's telling you to do the complete reverse.
Yeah.
Everything's been
often better. It's not like sometimes. It's the majority of the time. You are going to have to pivot. That's the whole point. If you get comfortable for too long, you're doing something wrong. You know.
One of my recent songs starts with "This world is inverted upside down," and it's due to things like this, you know, where the original meaning has been completely inverted. I really like that last one. I also love thicker than water and all that, but when you think about it, the jack of all trades, master of none, but certainly better than a master of one is actually very interesting, because now they're selling us the opposite. When you look at our health system and when you look at all this, they want everyone to be hyper specialized into one thing and only do one task, when in reality, the people that we hold in the highest esteem, who are they? Einstein, Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, Socrates. They're all people that are multidisciplinary. So really, when you think about it, damn, that makes a lot of sense. Do you guys have any other examples? Any other things where the etymology doesn't follow exactly how we use it today? Any sayings like that are completely inverted? Please let me know down below. It's like one of my passions. I truly appreciate it. And by the way, we've reached the end. Thank you so much for rocking with me. And that's a wrap for today, familia. Whether you're tuning in with the sunrise or you're posted up after midnight, I appreciate your time, your energy, your curiosity. And don't forget, this isn't about truth or fiction. This is about perspective. If this sparked a thought, a laugh, a deeper question, then we did our job. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep the convo alive. Like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell if you're riding a wave, because we're just getting started. So until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, stay critical. I'm Adam Strain, and this has been Adam Strain Reacts. Peace. Now it's time for us to link up. Really think we on the brink up, making a change from living this strange.